The Friends of UNH Women's Hockey present Coach's Corner with head coach Brian McCloskey.
Hi, welcome to the Friends of UNH Women's Hockey's Coach's Corner. I'm Phil Kincaid along with head coach Brian McCloskey. Well, the Wildcats came off the holiday break with a couple of impressive wins, a 3-1 victory over Brown, and then they traveled down to Northeastern for a 6-0 shutout to improve their Hockey East record to 10-0. A couple of dominating performances in those two games, yet still at Brown, you needed an empty net goal in the final minute to kind of ice things. Give us a rundown of what you thought about that game.
Well, I thought you coming out of break, obviously a little bit rusty. Digit Murphy, of course, the Brown coach who I've known for 25 years, her teams always play hard. As we talked before the break, or before that series, we haven't won down there in a number of years. So we actually moved the puck pretty well at times, created a lot of quality scoring chances. Their goaltending has been really strong this year. It's one of their strong suits. So it was a tight game. I mean, credit to Digit and her team, and as you noted, we had to get an empty net goal to ice the game. So, but overall, I mean, it was a good first step for us coming out of break after, pretty hefty layoff of 3 weeks.
And of course, you were missing some players who were still at a tournament in Europe, and that obviously had to have some effect as well.
Yeah, I mean, the freshmen that were gone, Steph and Julia Marty and Courtney Bouchard, and Jen Wakefield, certainly add a lot to our lineup, and despite being freshmen, so their absence was felt. But we've had this a couple of times already this year. The team's handled it very well, and in many ways, it's an opportunity for some of the other players. So overall, it was a good first opening test, and I thought we responded pretty well.
Then last Thursday was a head down at Northeastern, a team that hasn't really done a lot yet this year. Started a little slow, but you turned it on near the end. I think it was 4 goals in that third period to win it 6-0.
Again, they've got, that's a team that's gotten better from a year ago, without question, in particular in the net. They have a freshman goalie who I thought did very, very well in that particular outing. And, I think line combination-wise, some people have just come back. It was Courtney Bouchard didn't play in that game. She's been bothered with a high ankle sprain. But I think the team was still sort of getting in sync. Now, of course, this week we've got some big tests coming up, and hopefully we've got some of the bugs ironed out, because we're going to be severely tested going up to Hanover on Thursday, and then Providence is a hot team right now. They've been playing with a lot of confidence, and I'm sure they'll come in here and give us a great effort on Saturday.
Well, yes, that's one of the big games on the schedule every year. That's the Dartmouth contest, a very well-coached team, a very talented team. Give us a little scouting report on what you expect when you head up there on Thursday.
Well, they've always been under Mark and his predecessors. Judy, who he coached with for a number of years, they've always been one of the more aggressive skating teams. They're always a hard forechecking team. They're very good in special teams, one of the more aggressive teams we see, man up, man down, and they've got some terrific players. They graduated some of, their marquee players last year, the Olympians, but Sarah Parsons, who played with the U.S. Olympic program, is still there, as well as they've got a couple of girls that are right at the top of the scoring nationally. So I look for them to be one of the top teams we faced this year, and I think they're blending some new faces in, so I think Mark's team is clearly one of the top 6-7 teams in the country.
That's also a tough rink for you guys. You've had some not so happy luck there in the last couple of years, and it seems to me it's also a rink where you need to get off to a good start.
Yeah, I think that's key. They come out usually very fired up, and I suspect we'll have a pretty good crowd. And that rink, I played there obviously in my collegiate years, so I have some fond memories of that building, but it hasn't been as fond behind the bench. So hopefully we can turn that around on Thursday.
And of course, that's your last non-league game, and going into the big stretch in the final 6-7 weeks of the season, which is amazing. The season's gone by so fast. and you kick it off with a real tough match here at home against Providence.
Yeah, and of course Bobby's team played us here in the finals of the Hockey East tournament, and that was a hard-fought game. You know, they're well coached. He does a good job pre-scouting. They'll certainly be ready for what we do. You know, I think his team is kind of like you hope will happen, truthfully. He's one of those teams that you can see gaining strength as the year goes on, and it's good for our league. I mean, it really is, because he's had to blend some new faces in as well, and lost some of his veteran players over the last couple of years. And I've been pretty impressed with the results. I mean, they beat Mercier 7-3 the other day, and but even when they lose, if you look at their record, which, you know, maybe they're around 500, but in those losses, they've lost a lot of tight, hard-fought games, and they've played a tough schedule too. So I think that Providence is really going to challenge for our league, and that'll be a big test on Saturday.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. As we head into the home stretch, we'll be back again next week with another edition of Coach's Corner.